any of them, because you know what they're up to yet. I just put the letter in there, so that was me signing. So, we'll know more about the afternoon than we do. Right. The problem, after sleeping on it, one time John wanted to ask him, I wanted to direct questions about homosexuality asked. You never know what you're going to find. Because we dug up a couple on his chambers, you know. Nobody knows that, but that's in the back of that one at the beginning. They were both that way. That relationship sometimes poisons a lot of these things. Now, I think Anderson, I'm just guessing, but if there's any possibility of this, John, that could be the key as well. Something he may be under blackmail. They've got a perfect excuse for reinterrogating him because of yesterday's Anderson column. And the question whether this fellow had access to that and so on. And so they're going to get into that, and they'll slide into this other thing in passing. We got the interrogator over first thing this morning and got him all set. And,
this is a polygraph again.
Yeah. The thing that concerns John is, and I think your strategy is exactly right, except is with one thing that I would worry about. This guy's a potential Ellsberg in terms of, and he knows more really than Ellsberg knows, because he really knows what happens. Now, fortunately, what he knows is not anything that's going to be, in my view, I wouldn't mind having it all come out, but it's better for it not to. The point is there any way that you can keep him scared to death so that he doesn't get out and think, oh, now I'm going to write a book, or I'm going to do this or that or the other. Can he be told that a criminal, I think he's got to be told that a criminal offense hangs over him, that it's going to hang over him, and that we're going to, you see what I mean? I'd like to scare the son of a bitch to death.
I would believe.
If you believe that's what you ought to do.
Yes, we did that yesterday, Mr. President. I think that the sign-off on this guy when he's sent to wherever he's going to be sent is going to be just that. You can sit down and read the statutes to him and the background and the sentences and so forth and really give him a good understanding of what is going to be in his background for a long time to come. And I think this, if anything, will keep this fellow from opening up will be that.
I think it's important just to sentence him correctly. And the important thing is to handle the captain and the admiral in a way that they do not talk.
Well, their career, and I suspect that that's enough leverage.
And they're probably loyal fellows.
I suspect so.
They're just doing it for the service. This fellow, I think they'd be shocked to know what this guy did.
Well, they know.
Do they know the packet?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
But see, Welder and the captain used him.
And they knew that he was stealing from Kissel.
They had to. I just don't see any escape from that.
But that's the reason they have to be transferred. If they knew he was stealing from Kissel,
the complicity there is
if they knew that, they have to be transferred.
This is the only way you're going to have a deterrent on future such operations.
Right. That's why you've got to have more. You're going to do him.
Well, your suggestion was to let this fester.
Yep.
But now I'm going to interrogate Welder today at 1.
That's fine.
And then we'll just let it sit for a bit and regroup, and we can compare notes and see where we go from here. Depending on what we got. But I hope from this interrogation comes an admission from him that he has been passing this stuff to the Joint Chiefs so that we have completed the chain. That's the missing link right now. One thing that concerns me a little bit, I met Hughes' successor this morning, and he is from the Joint Chiefs. Now, I don't know if everybody in the outfit's tainted, but that rang a bell just because I'm kind of alert to that these days.
Wellender's going to have a pretty difficult time not talking to the subject matter.
That's right. Oh, he's going to have to talk. Or that's the end of his career. I think that's his choice.
Mitch Anderson really knows how to work on it.
He does. He's a master.
He has more people around this government than I guess anybody has ever had. Far more than Drew Pearson ever had.
Well, he got it from Pearson. He was Pearson's looking at him.
Yes, I know, but
He was all over the town.
he's developed a lot of...
Developed them all around.
Yeah.
I certainly would say this, that I watch around and I'd see anybody that, he was close to Wally Hickel, if you recall. I just think that,
Has he had...
I think we better check everybody Anderson knows and talks to. I really think we better do that. You know, if we want to find out where leaks are, what do you believe is that going to help us?
I'm not so sure. I think his regular sources are not a problem for us. That is, the Sapphire, he's a source or something like that. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
It's the hidden guys like this who bootleg stuff to him that we just stumble onto occasionally that we've got to root out. Now, I don't know how you find those people.
Have you had a report on the check back on his columns yet?
No, not yet. Dave may have it for me when he comes in.
Well, incidentally, on this, I think you've done a marvelous job of sleuthing. This is a great job of detective work. One day we'll write it. But the point is now, I just think, John, your strategy is correct. We can't blow it, but we ought to get out of this, keep this guy under arrest by scaring him to death. And something's got to hang over it. And second, use this as a device to, of course, clean up the Joint Chiefs operation. And third, you got to get at Henry. Now, you got to get at Henry another way. Henry, we all know his fake leaks and tries to job Henry and vice versa. But on the other hand, Henry is paranoid with regard to anything that comes out. He says, well, it's somebody in the state, Rogers is doing this or something. Now we've got to, he's got to have it brought home to him, and he's got to look to his own shop now, that it isn't, and not always assume that somebody else is doing it to him, right?
And there has to be ordered in there that security officer.
Sure. Yeah. And I think we'll get Young to sit down with him, because Young knows that system so well. Sit down with a security officer and give him everything he knows, so the guy starts out ahead of the game a little bit. Young is writing up a memo for your file on this whole episode. Good. And it'll be just the only copy there is of the whole thing. And we'll just salt that away so that you're in a position to write about it at some time. But then Young...
See, what we're doing here is, in effect, excusing the crime.
Yep.
So it's a hell of a damn thing to do.
But this has been the history all through this question of espionage,
Has it?
all the way through.